Hey, I'm Najeeb. I want to tell you a story of my struggle running. Last year, I wanted to be a bit more active, and I've always thought of myself as someone who is somewhat fit but not an athlete. And growing up, I never really enjoyed long distance running, or in fact, I actually hated it. I preferred like the quick sports like badminton or going to the gym just to lift weights. To challenge myself, I signed up for Ironman 70.3 triathlon. And for me, it was the longest distance I would have ever had to complete. And to give you a frame of reference of how long that is, it's swimming 1.9 kilometers, biking 90 kilometers, and then running half a marathon, which is 21.1 kilometers back to back. And for me, it's definitely the longest distance. So what ended up happening was by the time I started swimming, I got a leg spasm and I started panicking. With 1,000 people swimming next to me and just going past me, I started panicking. And there was a time that I needed to fill for the swimming. If I didn't complete within hour and 10 minutes, I would have been disqualified. So thankfully, I was able to kind of get through that. And then when I started biking, that was even challenging as well because my left knee started to hurt. And the worst out of all of that was running. You see, a few kilometers into running, not only was I the last one in the entire race, even though starting near the first, I had nosebleed. And by the time I went 8 kilometers in, my knee started to hurt and it started to give out. And to make matters worse, by the time I started walking or even doing any sort of movement when in the running phase, I couldn't feel my hands. I lost the sensation in my hands. At that moment, I had a decision to make. Do I just keep on going or do I just stop? And I realized that at this point, I have kind of went through this entire struggle. It would be foolish for me to kind of give up now. Even though I have 5 more kilometers to go, and I had around 45 minutes to kind of complete it after that entire thing. If I didn't complete it within the time, I would have been disqualified. So I decided to go for it. But I made a switch in my mind, and I said that hey, I'm going to go for it. However, I'm going to take it step by step. Yes, I want to complete it. That's my long term. But in the short term, I'm just going to go 2 blocks, or I'm just going to cross that hill and then I'm going to walk. By doing that, by putting it into chunks, I realized that I was able to kind of get through it and finish the triathlon race within 5 minutes of being disqualified. 5 minutes. Had it been longer than 5 minutes, I would have been completely disqualified. And that's okay if I had. I think the key thing to realize for me, and what I realized after, was it's okay to take it step by step while still thinking long term. So right now, even though everything's changing day by day, even though things are completely out of whack, people are working from home, you can hear noises, trying to adapt from it, what you plan for a year from now, it's not going to be realistic. You can't use your old 2020, 2023 plans. You have to adapt to now. You want to think about the short term. And as you take it in the next 60, 90 days, and then eventually get to the year, thinking about it from that mindset will help you kind of adapt to this new normal. That's just my own perspective. That's just what I feel right now. And I just wanted to share with anyone who might be kind of struggling figuring out what to do right now. And if you want a community, I'm bringing together a fantastic group of remote leaders in a free open community. I'll post it in the link below. It's just called Open Council. You can just pair up with others, do virtual co-working for free. You could get feedback, have happy hour, lunches, coffee. Because at this point, community is more important than ever. So I hope that was helpful. I know it's super tough. Everyone's kind of going through challenging times, but figure out how can you take the next immediate short term, whether it's 2 weeks out or a month out, and go from there. Hope that was helpful.